Hey YouTube, it's SoulPrime13 coming at you with another Transformers video review. Today we're going to be taking a look at Tyrant Toys Heavenly Tyrant, which is their take on the Transformers Victory starsaber. So this is my first and currently only starsaber figure. I mostly got it because I like the design. And this is actually a very affordable MP style figure. I don't think he's in scale because I think Starsaber was supposed to be like absolutely massive in that show. But overall, it's a very nice figure, and it was very affordable. It was only around 100 US, which for masterpieces actually on the cheaper end these days. Um, but we will start with a quick look at the box. Here we have some nice artwork of Starsaber there. I will definitely wait until the day when the universe is filled with peace. So there's that. Got that artwork there again on this side. On this side we have a little render of the figure. And yeah, that quote's like on every side. Bottom we have a little look at the vehicle mode. Top is again that same artwork, and on the back we do have some product shots, and they do have the little inner robot. Again, I am not familiar with Japanese Transformers. Again, I mostly got this just because I dig the design, so I don't really know the significance of the smaller robot to bigger robot and all of that, but anywho, that's it for the box. We do get a nice little lovely instruction booklet. We do have his starship, I'm guessing, mode there. It's jet-esque, but I don't think it's supposed to be a jet. But yeah, the pictures are a little bit on the small side. I wish they had utilized both sides of this, but it is what it is. We do get another picture of the figure all touched up there. So, but there is that. And now we can take a look at the actual figure here, and he does come packed in his robot mode. Very nice colors here. We do get some metallic sheen to the reds and the blues, especially the blue. The blue has a very nice metallic look to it. Got some yellow there on the kneecaps. Big red power boots there. A little bit of gold there on the chest. Some, let's bring this up a little bit. Some nice silver there for the face with some blue for the eyes, metallic blue. But yeah, overall, a nice looking figure. To go over his articulation, we do get a full 360 here at the arms. You do kind of have to be aware of the collision of this little chest piece here, but you do get full 360. The arms can come that far out. We do have a bicep swivel. We do actually have double jointed elbows, so we get over 90 degrees at the elbow. Move that back. We do have a wrist swivel and a little bit of a hinge at the wrist, which is nice. And we do have fully articulated fingers. We do have a ball joint at the base of the thumb, and then a hinge and a hinge. And then all the fingers are a ball joint, and then two hinges at each joint. So we do get plenty of articulation in those hands, which I always love. We do get a ab crunch. We do get a full 360 at the waist. The hip skirts can all move up. We do get a forward kick there. A outward ratchet to the side. Backwards we get about the same as forward. And we do get a double jointed knee for a full kick. You get a thigh and knee swivel, And then we do get a essentially it's not a ball joint, it's a universal joint at the feet, and we do get some movement in the toe there. So definitely plenty to work with. And we do get some various accessories. So first of all, we do get a big old shield, which he can hold. You can see there's a handle that can flip either way, and it does have the little palm tab on it. So if we bring his hand over here, and then we just sort of half curl his fingers, slip this over his hand, and we can just peg that into his palm, and wrap those fingers the rest of the way around. And there he is holding his shield, and he holds it fairly securely, all things considered. The tab and palm is not the best form of holding things, but they've at least adjusted it enough that, like, he holds it, so that's always nice. We do get a large sword here, and again, we do have that little palm tab, so we can just slip that into his other hand here. It's only fair that a guy called Starsaber should have a big old sword. So there's that. But those are not the only accessories we get. We do also get a mini version of the sword for the smaller inner robot, and there's not really a place to store it, so I just kind of like slip it up here in between all the kibble, just like that, just so he has it on hand. Then we also get this gun, and this is a configuration for the smaller robot to hold, but it does transform if we pull up on this part and rotate around and pull this out, and make sure to also pull this section here up. Bring this around, and then we're going to make sure that this slot here tabs onto this little tab right here as we go. And now we have a rifle for the larger robot. And additionally, we also get 4 effects parts. So we get 2 different kinds, and we get 2 of each. Let's do it like this. Yeah. So we do have these ones, which just have a flat little back piece, and I'm not entirely sure where these go. It's not mentioned in the instructions. I think they're supposed to plug in on the back in his vehicle form. And then we also have these 2, which can plug into his gun. There's only like one place for them to plug in, so it's kind of surprising they included 2, but maybe it's just so you have an extra one. Something I should mention about all of these is these are third party, and as you can see, they have lots of little spines on this side. This way is fine, but on this side, these are a little bit sharp, so do be careful, like when you're plugging in, where you're holding them. But just to show, the one with the little post can just plug in right here into the barrel of the gun, and now it looks like you're shooting it. And we do also have some weapon storage, at least in the robot mode. We can take the gun, and there's this tab up here, and there are these 2 slots here, and that will just plug in like so. And we can also store the larger sword on the back. There, if you look, there's a little post hole right here on the bottom, and he does have 2 little pegs right here on both sides. You can just plug that in like so, and now you have your weapon storage. Unfortunately, like I mentioned, there's not a specific place to store the little sword or the shield in the robot mode, so kind of a bummer, but it is what it is. And we'll bring in a quick size comparison real fast. So here we have him next to the MPG KO of Power Master Optimus / Jinrai. So you can see how he stacks up with the official masterpiece there. I know that there's an official masterpiece for this figure, but I don't have it. I wasn't collecting at the time. So unfortunately I can't do that comparison. But yeah. So anyway, I think we should move on to our first transformation section. I am just going to take this shield out of his hand for now. But essentially, for this part, what we're going to do is we're going to remove the little inner robot here. So you just kind of want to pull these fins forward a little bit. And you're just going to grab this whole chest section here and just wiggle it free, and this whole robot will just slide on out. And the way it works is this part slides down, and then there is a little notch here, and they go over the little tabs right here and right here. Sort of, yeah, you can sort of see there's like a little tab slider there. So we're just going to put that whole big body off to the side, and we do actually want to take off this headpiece. Just wiggle that off. It is just a hollow bit that slides over the top of the smaller robot head. Anyway, so we're going to go ahead and straighten out those legs. Go ahead and fold these fins around to the back. Go ahead and just bring these arms out and extend them to give him his elbows. And then we can bring these little wheels down and just use them to pull the foot out. Bring the foot out. Go ahead and separate those legs. Straighten out those knees like so. And there we have our little robot. And he's a neat little dude. Neat little dude. I don't know if this is considered a separate character or if it's sort of like Jinrai, where this is Jinrai, or this is Starsaber, and that's also Starsaber, just with the bigger upgraded body or whatever. Again, I'm not super familiar with the Japanese TV shows. But again, you can give him the little sword if you want. Just plugs right in. So there is that. It does look pretty neat. Go ahead and take that away. And then if we want to bring back the rifle here, go ahead and just quickly transform this back. Just kind of all folds together. And wrap this around. Come on. There we go. Like so. And this is, again, the configuration for the smaller robot. You can see there's a little post right here that'll fit into his hand, and you're just supposed to sort of tuck his other arm under here to support it. But that is supposed to be the gun mode for the little robot. So there's that. And don't think I really have a good comparison here. Well, we can do this. Here is DX9's mini Jinrai. Let's bring this down a little bit, just to show you how those two stack up. So yeah, he's around a Legends scale figure on this particular mode. Anyway, I think now we can move on to... Oh wait, actually I should probably go over this guy's articulation. The head is on a ball joint to get some wiggly waggly and side to side. The shoulders can come that far out. He does have arm articulation, but this whole backpack really hinders how far his shoulders can go. You do get a little under 90 degrees at the elbow. Do get a bicep swivel. Yes, we do get a wrist swivel as well. We do get an ab crunch, a very deep ab crunch. So there's that. Do get some waist swivel. If you bend his waist at the ab crunch, you do get full 360 without any collision issues. We do get that far out to the side. We can kick that far forward. And the hip skirts are all one piece here. Not as far back just due to collision, but you do get some decent backwards motion on there. We do get about 90, it's a little under 90 degrees at the knee bend there. We do get a hip swivel, and there's some up and down at the toe due to that transformation, and we do get some ankle motion there. So that is the smaller robot's articulation. And now we're going to get him transformed into his little fighter jet mode. So we are going to just tab these legs back together again. And we can just fold these feet up and bring these wheels back up and around. And most of this is just going to be the upper torso, but see, we do want to compress those arms back up and just sort of bring them down to the side. And we are going to sort of turn this backpack section, and it's kind of good if you get one of these arms out of the way. But essentially, you got to find there's like a certain spot that'll let you get these wings around. It's sort of like this, yeah, here. And that will let you fold out those wings. And just turn it, and then bring it out. And you can see there's like a little slider here. But we'll wait until we get both of them out. And we gotta turn it this way to do the other side. And it's gonna be a little bit of a pain just figuring out exactly where that sweet spot is the first couple times, but then we can just slide those in together on that slider, and we want to bring this forward like so, and then we'll bring the arms in, and you can see they're in a different position now. You gotta slide it down closer into the body, and then these knees you're gonna accordion up and sort of put them in an L shape like this, and sort of bring this up, and those are not all the way down. And you'll sort of feel it soft lock slide into place. Then we're going to take these two panels here, and we are going to fold them down. And now we can bring this up, and you can see that there are two tabs on the inner side of those that are going to go into the back of his knees here, like so. Just make sure that we have everything all lined up. Yeah, and then you'll need to compress those knees a little bit more. You can see how now they're all scrunched together, and there's not really much of a gap there anymore. So just bring his arm back down to get that out of the way. And now we actually do have to bring in the big sword, because we have to open this up. Let's see. Okay, yeah, the hinge is on the other side, so the hinge is on the side with the pin, so just take note of that. And we open this up, and then we just wiggle this whole section out, and you can see the way it connects is there are two tabs and two slots. So then we also have to take off this little pommel bit, like so. Now we're going to take this, and there are two little tabs on the end. We want to make sure to plug that in, which I think it's this side. Yeah. So you want to make sure that the side with the slightly uneven ridges goes towards the bottom with the landing gear. So we close that back up, like so. And now we are going to slide his head into this open spot, and then this big slot is going to go over this tab right here, like so. Like that. Get that in. And it does look a little odd with the transparent to the painted metallic blue here, but it's not a huge deal. And then we just fold out these side tail fins. Come on. And there we have the little robot in the jet mode. And it's a nice little looking jet. And yeah, if we bring these down a little bit, we do get some landing gear here. So, and he rolls okay, all things considered. I mean, he's a jet, that's not the biggest priority there. But anywho, now we need to work on converting this into his extended, larger, like starship mode. So first things first, we're going to work on his arms. We are going to sort of just ball up these fists. Get these just wrapped up, just to make sure that they'll tuck away neatly. And we're just going to ball up these fists, like so. And going to come back here, and we are going to untab this back piece here and bring it down. And overall this is a fairly simple transformation. There's not a whole lot of steps to it, honestly. But we do need to come here and so we want to turn the legs inwards, or rather the knee inwards, and you can see there's a little panel here. We want to open that up, and we are just going to sort of move these arms up out of the way, and we are going to sort of bring these legs out to the side. Do the same on the other side. When we bring this one down, there is this extra little bit that we need to fold out and tab into place. And now we want to come here, and you can see there's now this open spot. We'll let the knee slide down, and you're going to bring, let's see, so this turns to the side, comes down, and then you're going to rotate the knee up, and this will just sort of sit like that. We are going to do the same with both sides. Bring this in, bring this over, and now we can bring his legs together, and as you can see, that little gray piece is going to come together, and it'll snap these two bits together. It's a fairly secure connection, but I will say one issue I do have with this guy is that the different vehicle mode, the vehicle mode configurations of his limbs don't all really lock into place, so they do kind of like slide around at the joints. So now this is untapping itself. Come on. Why is this not sitting in the same position? Can't do that. And we can come back here and just sort of fold his toes up like so, and fold these little wings down, fold these up like so. And yeah, I don't know exactly what's going on here, but these are not sitting. Oh, that's why. Yeah, totally forgot about that. The hip joint here does slide up, so that should let that sit evenly now while I get this all tacked back together. And again, like nothing really comes, this is fighting me right now because the camera's on, nothing really comes untabbed super easily, but the joints don't lock, so they do kind of slide around a little bit. Anyway, we're up here to the arms, and I do believe we have to compress them down like so. And part of it is this upper joint here, his shoulder pad, does slide down. You can actually see the slider right there. Yeah, we're gonna Slide that down over his arms. And we do kind of want to come back here. And we are going to slide his fist into this little cavity here. And then we're going to lift this panel here. It's going to come up, and this little bit's going to fold out and come down. And it's just going to, you can see there's a little tab on the end, and there's a little hole that it'll slide into. So, and then there's also a little tab and slot right here. So, just like this. Get that on there, and then that didn't go in. Get that like so. So it should come together like that. Make sure this is properly adjusted. Slide that around. And yeah, we're just gonna flip this back around. And again, we want to open this up. And fold out this white piece, bring it down, and we just want to make sure that slides in and get that tab there. And again, this little bit here has now come undone again. There we go. And now we bring this backpack piece back around, and this tab right here is going to go into this little butt panel right below the transparent blue piece. Now we'll just tab in there, nice and snug. Make sure those shoulders are straight. And this is what I mean, like things don't like tap in. You can see that moves. Again, it doesn't like fall apart or come undone super easily. This part does come untabbed a lot, especially right now. Anyway, we're going to bring these two pieces down, and see, yeah, there's a little armature here that folds out like so. And then we're going to bring in the larger robot head here. You're just going to push up on the lower part of his face where the face mask is and squish his eyes up into his helmet like so. It's not completely disappeared, but it sort of scrunches it. And then you're going to move these antennae to be straight forward. And now, as before, so this used to slide over the little robot head, but now there's this little square piece right here, and it's just going to slide on top of that like so. And this isn't the most stable connection. It is easy to pop it off. It won't like fall off per se, but it is easy to doink it and it just pop right off. So just be aware. And also be careful of these very tiny little antenna pieces. They feel like they could snap if you aren't careful, just because of how thin they are. But overall, the materials used are perfectly fine. No issues there. It does feel very sturdy. Now, we got to slightly reconfigure the little jet. So we are going to fold these up here. And I believe we want to fold them straight down like so. And then these wings are going to come forward, and we want to bring it up and fold this around like so. So it's sitting like that. So again, you're going to bring this out. You're going to fold the first hinge down, or no, the first hinge up, and then the second hinge down and around. Come on. And you just sort of squeeze that back in along the sides there. And now it looks a little bit more like a little race car, but yeah, that's essentially how you want it positioned. And what you're going to do here is you're going to come up, and it's essentially going to slide in, and I'm pretty sure there's like a certain connection point, but I'm not 100% sure. Trying to remember, because I know there's like a weird little trick to it. I'm trying to remember it. Might just be that it's weird. But yeah, it is supposed to go up under here. Yeah, you just kind of like slide up, and you want to make sure it's touching the roof there. But yeah, the way it really tabs in is these two little bits here. They're going to go into these little ports. You see that little hole, square hole right next to the wheel there? They're going to plug into that. So you're essentially going to just slide this in, and you're going to want to have, yeah, see, head popped off. You're going to sort of fold this in, and you kind of have to push on the little armature just to get it to slip past his knee. Once it does, just kind of get it lined up, and not have it lined up. Trying to make sure I can actually see it here. My eyeballs aren't the best, but yeah, just need to get it really lined up there. That's completely unlined up now. The hard part about this is doing it when you can't really see it that well. There we go, that one's in now. Should be able to just sort of kind of I'm gonna move his little arm out of the way. I cannot see. Okay, there. Looks like it's in. And now this one's untabbed again. Part of it's also make sure the arm doesn't rise up higher than it's supposed to. It's kind of hard to get it lined up while it's all tucked away in there. Don't think. No, that is not lined up. Try moving his arm again. There we go. And now we can just slide that arm back down. Pull these wings back up. Okay, straighten these little guns. I forgot to mention these are on ball joints. Completely forgot about that. That's my bad. Alright, put his big robot head back up. Oh yeah, it also does say to move these two antennae like in because they're on a hinge, so that they're sort of like touching at the tips. But I think it looks better when they're just sitting straight forward. Anyway, just all those fins, and right, and then we open these little blue panels on his knee, and we do get our landing gear here. And then we open these panels on his shoulders, these red panels. And we fold out some landing gear from there as well. This is a little harder because basically you got to grab the wheel and hope that it doesn't just roll out of your finger, but it's not too bad. There we go. So now he does have his landing gear. And then the last part we want to do, so we want to bring in the shield, fold the handle down, and just make sure it tabs in. Either side is fine. And now we got these two tabs here and here. And they're going to go into his hips here and here. And it's actually better if you lift this up a little bit. And just head popped off again. there we go. Tab that in, lock this back down, put his head back on again, like so. And there we have his full combined alt mode. And yeah, it's an interesting looking, again, I'm assuming starship of some sort. Got the little wings, and we do got some nice thruster details back here. And again, he does come with these little flex parts, and they do kind of plug into these ports here. Let me make sure I put it in a way that it doesn't stab me. Fortunately, there's only two. Get that back on there. There are only two, and camera's on, so it's giving me extra trouble today. And there goes the head. Yeah, as you can see, these arm pieces, they just move, so those don't lock in. There, we got plugged back together. But yeah, you can't fit two on each side, just they're too close together. I'm pretty sure they don't really. No, they do fit into like the bottoms of his heels here. So if you want to do that, I'm not sure if the little post prevents it. Maybe that's what I was thinking of. And again, do be careful. These side little spines are quite pointy. Okay, yeah, that does fit in there like that. The landing gear folded up on itself. So you can get some little bits of propulsion going on there. Now, there is, again, one issue I do have is these cannot store in the ship mode. I mean, you can sort of get the gun on there again. It's just putting it the same way it was in the robot mode. Let me transform this. Just get it all together here. If we transform it, because that tab there will still be able to slide into this slot here on his backpack piece. So you can still store the gun. It does look a little weird, but you can't store the sword anymore because it used this post hole. This post hole is how it's stored on his back before. So now this is just kind of hanging out. And again, this doesn't actually technically store anywhere. So you do kind of just have these parts sitting on the side for the vehicle mode, which it's not the end of the world, but it is kind of annoying. I do prefer it when, even if it's not the best storage, I prefer something. But yeah, and again, he's not super solid in this mode. Like, again, all the joints still shift and move, and fortunately they're not super loose, so he's not like flopping around, but the joints do kind of glide very well for their stiffness, so things can kind of shift here and there as you're like manhandling him. It's not a huge thing. I just do wish that like some things locked a little better, or maybe tabbed into place. The shield does sometimes pop off. Normally it's not quite as bad as it was a second ago. But yeah, the head does have a tendency to pop off. You can see it's because the little thing it's sitting on is like it's a couple microns larger than it should be, so it slowly sort of pushes his head off. Yeah, overall it does look nice, and again, the materials are great. He's got some solid die cast in there. He's got some nice heft to him. Nothing feels super cheap or anything. It's just some of the tolerances, rather the lack of locking mechanisms for the joints in the vehicle mode are kind of an issue, and I really wish that these like could at least like peg onto his back still. And I have tried. I have looked around. There's just not really anything to do with these. And yeah, you can at least use the little effects parts in his. Let's go ahead and snag this one from the gun. So you do at least get these nice little effect parts. You know, they didn't have to do that, but they do work quite nicely. Again, just be careful. This one on the tip is a little pointy, but it's really these little ones on the side that are the danger, because that's also where you're going to try and grip it when you plug it in. But overall, I am very satisfied with this. And again, it was not super pricey, considering that not only is it a masterpiece scale figure, but between the quality and the overall just like heft of this guy, I feel like it was a very solid deal. I feel like it was a very good price. Again, he was around 100 US. I don't remember the exact price, but it was around 100, a little bit over. And he definitely feels worth that price. He actually feels very premium considering the price. This is the very first figure from Tyrant Toys. They have already announced their second figure is going to be Victory Leo, who, from what I understand, has like a combination gimmick with starsaber in the show. I'm probably not going to get that. I have no interest in that character whatsoever, and unlike this guy, I don't really care for that design either. It's just not for me. But yeah, I do look forward to any other future installments in the Tyrant line. Heavenly Tyrant here, starsaber, has made a good first impression. It's not without its flaws and its little hiccups, but overall, I think they did a really good job, and if they continue to improve from where they are, they could easily break out as a star company. They really have done a good job here for a very first figure. It really does stand out as very good quality, despite the small flaws. Really nothing game-breaking here. Just overall, you can tell that they put some solid effort into this guy. And again, not perfect, but by no means am I disappointed. I am actually very, very satisfied with this guy. But we should do a couple quick comparisons before we wrap off. So here he is next to the Earthrise generic Seeker, so you can get an idea of how he stacks up. He is, you know, fairly large. He is a big bot. So there is that. And do I have any other planes nearby? Ah, here we go. There he is with Legacy Galaxy Shuttle. Just for a leader class comparison. Because I do believe Galaxy Shuttle was from the Japanese Victory whatever show. Could be wrong about that, but I mean, I know this is just an Astro Train repaint, but the character is supposed to be Japanese. Anywho, I think that's really all I have to say about this particular review. Again, this is their first figure, and I think so far they've done a stellar job. There are some improvements they could make, but overall, I think this is a great start. So, I think I'll go ahead and wrap up this review, and this is Soul Prime 13, saying transform and soul out.